Good morning all of you. Myself Dr.Vilas Thakare. In the earlier video lecture, we studied about the tissues providing mechanical support including parenchyma, collenchyma and the sclerenchyma. These all type of tissues are the simple permanent tissues, or these are collectively called as the ground tissues, which are found in the different parts of the plant body. So in today's lecture we have to study the distribution of mechanical tissues in the different plant organs. So these parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma are distributed into different parts of the plant body, like in the root, stem, leaves, fruit. So today we are going to learn about the tissues providing mechanical support and their distribution in the dicot leaf. Actually, it is a principle of incompressibility. In the earlier lecture we also studied about the principles involved in the distribution of the mechanical tissues. So let's see the transverse section of the dicot leaf where these tissues are distributed. So this one is a transverse section of the dicot leaf. This transverse section consists of upper epidermis and the lower epidermis. This one is the upper epidermis. So it consists of upper and lower epidermis. Upper epidermis is also called as the adaxial epidermis. This one is the adaxial epidermis and this one is the lower epidermis. Lower epidermis is also called as the abaxial epidermis. It is also called as the abaxial epidermis. Both upper epidermis as well as the lower epidermis are covered by a cuticle. इनके ऊपर cuticle का layer होता है. These upper epidermis as well as lower epidermis are made up of a single cell layer. And the lower epidermis of the dicot leaf consists of the small openings called as the stomata. More number of stomata are found on the lower epidermis as compared to upper epidermis. And below this upper epidermis there is the some modified parenchyma cells called as the palisade mesophyll. So these are the parenchyma cells with the chloroplast. These are the parenchyma cells with the chloroplast, which are called as the palisade mesophyll. These are the palisade mesophyll cells which are performing the photosynthesis as they consist of the chlorophyll pigments or the chloroplast. And another type of the parenchyma cells found near the lower epidermis, these cells are called as the spongy mesophyll. This one is the spongy mesophyll, which act as the storage cell. And in between this spongy mesophyll there are some air cavities. So this one is the air cavity. These air cavities are found in the substomatal region. That one is called as the substomatal cavity, where the exchange of gases can be takes place and the transpiration of water, in which the water is lost in the form of water vapors through the aerial part of the plant body. Mostly the stomata found on the leaf, that transpiration occurs through this stomata. And the leaf consists of the vascular bundles, and these vascular bundles are surrounded by the bundle sheath cell. These are the bundle sheath cells. The bundle sheath cell can protect the vascular bundle, and this vascular bundle consists of the xylem and phloem element. So this one is the xylem element and this one is the phloem element. So xylem carries the water and minerals while phloem carries the food material, and these cells are the parenchyma cells. These are the parenchyma cells. And the cholenchyma cells are found just below the upper epidermis and just above the lower epidermis. There is the presence of the cholenchyma cells, and the vascular bundle, xylem and phloem elements are associated with the sclerenchyma cells. So if the xylem is associated with the sclerenchyma, that is called as the xylem fiber, and when the phloem is associated with the sclerenchyma cells, it is called as the phloem fiber. So that's why xylem and phloem are also providing mechanical strength or mechanical support to the dicot leaf. So the weight of the leaf having a tendency to bend downward. लीफ का जो वेट होता है, दिस वन इज द लीफ, ये लीफ का अपर सरफेस है. सो ये जो अपर सरफेस है, ये अपर सरफेस या इसके ऊपर जो वेट होगा, ये वेट होने के कारण ये लीफ यहाँ पर बेंड होगा. ओके, सो ड्यू टू द वेट दिस लीफ इज हैविंग टेंडेंसी टू बेंड डाउनवर्ड, और जब ये बेंड होता है तो इस अपर सरफेस पे यहाँ पर एक टेंशन क्रिएट होगा. Here is the development of a tension on the upper surface, and the lower surface undergoes the compression. और इसका जो lower surface है, lower surface में क्या होगा, compression होगा. So tension and compression are the stress. ये क्या है, stress है. और ये जो stress है, this one is the unfavorable environmental condition, और उसका physical response होगा, that is called as the strain. So to withstand this stress and strain, or to withstand this tension and compression, the dicot leaf develops the mechanical tissues which are found inside this dicot leaf. So in this dicot leaf, the cholenchyma cells are found just near the upper epidermis. So this one is the upper epidermis, and this one is the lower epidermis. Lower epidermis is interrupted by small openings, and that small openings are called as the stomata. ये यहाँ पर stomata होते हैं. So just below the upper epidermis there is the layer of cholenchyma cells. So cholenchyma cells are found just below the upper epidermis. This one is the upper epidermis, and they are also found just above the lower epidermis. So यहाँ पर ये जो टिश्यू है या ये जो सेल है, these are called as the cholenchyma cells. So these cholenchyma cells act as the flange of the eye girder. So if we saw the eye girdle, they consist of the upper flange and the lower flange. So this upper flange and lower flange are made up of the cholenchyma tissue. So this cholenchyma is acting as the upper flange and the lower flange and providing the mechanical support to the dicot leaf, while the middle portion act as a web. So we know that web does not having any stress. Web पे कोई भी stress नहीं होता है, ये null point होता है. So the large amount of stress are found on the upper and the lower flange. ये जो upper flange और lower flange होता है उसके ऊपर ज़्यादा stress होता है as compared to the middle portion or the central part of the leaf. So the cholenchyma tissue found just below the upper epidermis and just above the lower epidermis can act as the upper and lower flange, and it can provide the mechanical support to the dicot leaf. Okay, so therefore this cholenchyma represent the flanges of the eye girdle, while the tissues between the these two cholenchyma represents the web, and this web does not having any stress. And this sclerenchyma cells which are adjacent to the xylem, जाइलेम एलिमेंट्स के साथ जो स्क्लेरेनकाइमा सेल्स एसोसिएटेड होती है, दे आर कॉल्ड एज द जाइलेम फाइबर्स, और these are also called as the wood fibers. So these xylem fibers or the wood fibers are also providing the mechanical support or mechanical strength to the dicot leaf, and these sclerenchyma cells associated with the phloem are called as the phloem fibers, or these are also called as the bast fibers. Okay, so the xylem fibers or the phloem fibers are associated with the sclerenchyma cells, and we know that sclerenchyma is the dead tissue due to the lack of protoplast, and it is acting as a mechanical tissue, and it is providing a mechanical strength as the vascular bundles including xylem and phloem are associated with this sclerenchyma cell. So this is all about the distribution of mechanical tissues in the dicot leaf. If you found this lecture useful, then please like, share and subscribe this channel for more botany content. Thank you very much.